Okay, this is gonna basically let this run for a couple of minutes to start the stream up, but I'm basically gonna be trying to stream Sonic 3 DA Garden Edition ported to Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited by Thorn, which was awfully nice of him to do so. I've only released the source code the last week and he's already managed to port the entire game across, so all of the assembly code, all of the level layouts, palette changes, adjustments that I made, special stages, even the title cards, well, they've all been ported across and it's all there ready to go really, which is quite nice. I was very surprised at how fast this was done, and there's also some extra little bits in there that sort of added to make the experience a lot smoother, a lot better for people in general. So we have some of the transitions between levels have been fixed up a bit. There's some bits of bug fixes in general that have been applied. I've done a few tests, as it were, before this in general, just to see how things have been tackled and how things work, but I've not played through the entire thing yet, so I thought I would start a stream of it and just play through and see how it goes. So yeah, I mean, obviously I know what to expect, because obviously I worked on the project for 6 years, and it's been another 4 years since then, since the project has been out there. But yeah, recently I've been hit with a lot of people asking will I port it to the project to Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited, and I had absolutely no desire really to do it myself, but I thought that I can do the next best thing and release the source code to the public, and that's what I've done. And yeah, and less than a week later I now have this to play, and again, props to Thorn for doing so. I really do appreciate that, and yeah, it just means that other people have a new way to experience Sonic 3 DA Garden Edition with all the bells and whistles of Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it for a couple more minutes just in case people want to join in. If anyone's in the chat, if you could please let me know whether the audio volume is appropriate. If you can't hear me, or if the game audio is too loud, whatever it is, please let me know. As I said, I'm going to give it a couple of minutes before I start. I just want to make sure that if anybody wants to join, they're more than welcome to, and experience this with me on the first run through, as it were. And like I said, I know what to expect, but at the same time I don't. It is going to be interesting to experience this in a new way, on a new engine, with all of the extras that and options that I've enabled, such as Sonic having the peel out, and yeah, it's just going to be different. Like Angel Island bombing set to alternative, and things that I would have loved to have done if I had the skill to do so, and obviously I didn't. But now I can take advantage of the fact that it's now in this new engine and see that for myself. So I'll give it a couple more minutes. Also, yes, if the stream is okay, whether the video is okay, whether the video, the audio, whether they're okay. I'm not dropping any frames now, which I was before, really badly, but that's now should have been resolved, and we should be ready to go pretty shortly. Again, the kudos to the developers of Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited. I think it's Yuka. It's such a good engine, and it takes the original Sonic 3 and Knuckles and sort of expands it in ways that go above and beyond the original engine. I mean, not to put down the efforts of other people, for example with Sonic 3 Complete, which is fantastic in its own right as a ROM hack, but this just sort of adds so many extra little things that so much customization, so many extras. For example, obviously, competition mode, blue sphere, there's achievements, secrets, things to unlock. It just feels like a more well-rounded experience, very similar to the mobile Sonic 1 and 2 games, really, and that's what we're going to be experiencing. But obviously, Sonic 3 DA Garden Edition, which is going to be interesting, to say the least. So yeah, I'll give it another 60 seconds or so, and then we'll start. Trying to make sure if anybody's watching it, they can, and otherwise they can always catch up with it later. It's been quite a while since I've done a stream of some kind, and obviously I'm in a new place now, as I explained in my sort of random updates as I sometimes do on YouTube. So yeah, I'm in a new building. It's probably quite echoey in here as well with the audio, and I apologise for that. I haven't got the best of microphones handy right now, so I'm just making do with what I've got available. But there's more. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to sort of do this as quick as I could really. Okay, so we're going to go in. Obviously it's got all the save files from the standard Sonic 3 A.I.R, so we're just going to go for a no save, and I'm not really worried about losing progress or anything. Actually, I think I might just, yeah, I'll delete Knuckles and we'll play with Knuckles, because Knuckles has obviously his own roots and changes, and it's going to be interesting to see how those are accommodated here. So yeah, here we go. This is Knuckles. And right off the bat we take advantage of the new cutscene, which I rather like. I do wonder how this ties into my layout though. Okay, so okay, we have a 10 ring there, that's fine. This rock, can you break it at all? Just for decoration. Oh, I know where we are. Oh, that's brilliant. So does this drop down to? Ha! Oh, okay, that's really clever. I like that. Okay, you know what? That, yeah. I mean, I like the fact that it incorporates the new introduction of Knuckles into an area I hadn't even considered. That's quite clever. I like that. So we're gonna go back and grab an emerald anyway, just to confirm that the special stages have indeed been changed. Some of these obviously are notorious for being incredibly difficult for no reason, and I do apologise for that. But then at the same time, I wanted something that, you know, I hadn't had experience of making blue sphere stages before, and originally some of the ones before the ones that are in the game were so notoriously hard that the testers were having to alert me saying that I can't actually complete this. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but you know, I can, because I know the layouts myself. And so I've dialed a lot of them back, but then you're seeing the Sonic and Knuckles half of the game in Special Stage 5 and 7, the difficulty is still quite difficult for what it is, and there's some tricks you sort of need to know in order to get through them with a perfect. And some people do struggle even just to clear them. I've seen several streams and playthroughs before. So yeah, perfect in the first special stage, not a problem. Obviously another benefit to this engine is you can skip the score taking forever to load just by holding down the jump button. Like that, brilliant. It just makes general play a lot quicker, a lot smoother, because, you know, a lot of speedruns I've seen of the game seem to focus on people having to sit there and wait for the score to load, and that to me is just like, you know, if half your gameplay is you waiting for the score to load, then it's not gameplay, is it? It's not engaging in any way whatsoever, not to the player, to the audience if there is one. And that's the last thing you want to do. Be playing a game where not only is the person playing the game, but any potential audience members are just bored watching numbers count up. Again, taking advantage of the features of the engine, thereby using Sonic 3's mini-boss theme for the mini-boss in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Something I wanted to do and I couldn't, but now I can enjoy that music myself as a choice, of course. You yourself don't have to choose that, but that's the configuration I've got it set as, and I'm very happy with it. I think I'm just going to pick up emeralds as I go. I mean, I've proven that obviously they've been changed. There's no need for me to go grab them all. I'm just doing a casual playthrough really here. It's just not fun doing that, is it? Well, it is. But at the same time, it's just it's a bit embarrassing having to just combo hits on him. Just go and grab this last mono, which I know it is. There you go. I mean, I put the monitors in the ground where the sort of background is, sort of to compensate, so you should at least be able to see where they are. Oh, hello, Lego Barra 9. Yes, you did do the in progress one, didn't you, of this, which I saw and I thought was actually quite impressive. I haven't played any other Sonic 3 A.I.R mods. I've looked at them, and there's quite a lot of sprite ones actually, which is nice in its own right, but I'm more interested in level modification and, like, even if it's just a different moveset. I mean, it's nice and all seeing a different character sprite, but when the game's the same, it doesn't have the same sort of feel to it. Because it's just, you know, there's nothing special with seeing a different sprite for the same game. And that's why a lot of these character sprites was like Amy in Sonic 3 or, you know, Charmy in Sonic 2, whatever it is. To me, it's like, unless you're going to give the character a moveset as well to go with it, then my interest isn't very high. But I have seen a lot of other ones that are in progress. Obviously there's ones where people try and recreate Master Edition and hard mode versions, and I'm all for that. For me, it was the purpose of making this ROM hack in the first place, because I liked Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and I was told by a lot of people I had a general knack for creating level layouts in general, so it was nice to sort of flesh that out in a way to make an entire project with my own level layouts. And yeah, like, it's that sort of mentality from people towards myself has been like, you know, DA Garden's the level layout guy. I'll have to have a look into Sonic 3 Encore. I mean, I liked, there was a ROM hack of Sonic 2 Encore, and that was pretty cool. It didn't have as much new stuff to it as I would have liked, but yeah, the level layouts were definitely changed in places, and I definitely enjoyed playing it. That's the thing, like, I love the fact that this, without even thinking about it, because obviously I played my own layouts to death in testing and such, apart from that terrible death there. But I played my own level layouts to death in testing, and most of this is all just second nature to me, very similar to the original game. And it doesn't feel wrong in any way. It just feels more right than ever. You know, the widescreen, the extra features. The one thing that scared me about this boss as a kid is obviously Death Pit, because this is the first boss you play, like, in Act 2, obviously apart from the mini-boss. And yeah, it's quite scary thinking there's a Death Pit right there, on both sides, and the ability that you could... Oh, what's the water doing? Okay. Okay. Ah, no. Oh, I forgot I put him there. So yeah, just to recap, that water issue there, that's a bit odd. I think it was trying to, like, get to the same height as Sonic and Tails' path, I'm not entirely sure. Very strange. But it didn't affect the gameplay. That's, very strange to see though. Something to be on the lookout for, I guess. Well, I definitely don't remember that happening. Oh yeah, there's a big ring up here. Oh yeah, this one's pretty interesting, isn't it? Because it's 99 rings and then 100 blue spheres. And the way it's put out is obviously, like a maze. You will end up probably getting lost in there somewhere. Wow, I've seen a lot of people get lost in here playing the stage because they end up going in circles, and that's the way that the layout is supposed to be designed. Sort of like a pattern that feels similar, but actually it's not. So a lot of people will go down halfway and then turn around and come back, and they'll be like, oh, I swear I've been here before. Yeah, again, I can't thank Thorn enough for porting this as quickly as he did the entire thing, and adding the extras that he's done. It's because obviously I've known Thorn for a long time. We've worked on other projects before, notably S-Factor and something else that I can't remember, and something else I can't actually mention right now. But in general, like, we've worked on projects before, and I had no idea he picked this up and wanted to port the entire thing, and he did in less than a week. It was quite impressive, without any mention to me until he released it. And I'm getting lost in my own layout. This is a problem. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I was quite surprised when I checked the forums this morning and saw that he said, oh yeah, I've done it. I was like, what? I was like, you have? Completely unexpected. I'd seen like 2 efforts to do this already in the week from other people, one of them being Lego Barrier 9 yourself. And you know, the speed at which people pick this up to put it in is just surprising to me. You know, I didn't want to have to sit there and try and learn a new coding language and all that sort of stuff from scratch, and it sort of put me off. And obviously, it can't be that much of a learning curve if 2 people already done, you know, 2-3 people already done so. You know, so maybe it's something I could have done myself, but didn't have the skill to do. But what's done is done now, isn't it? At least I still get to enjoy it, and obviously, you know, kudos to the people that did so. Oh yeah, if I just go back up here. Obviously, another benefit to people watching this is they might be able to see things about the layout they might not have known about themselves. You know, with me being the primary developer of this project. To be fair, this project, like I said, although it did take 6 years, most of that was purely me. It wasn't like a solid 9 to 5 effort on this project. It was more a case of I was at university for half of it, I was at college for the other half of it, so in my spare time in the evenings I would work on it, small bit at a time, and you know, as the years went by, it was slowly accumulated into a project, so yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, I worked with Hex before in hacking, not a lot, but I've done, you know, bits and pieces. I know how to hex edit small things. For example, you know, starting positions, you know, in binary files for like, you know, the Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 assemblies, and you know, level sizes and things like that. But anything more complicated than that, and I feel like my brain starts to frazzle. It's the same with assembly code actually as well. Like, I can understand how to write, what do you call it, like an entire load of code for adjusting water height for Labyrinth Zone, for, you know, different Sonic's position, the screen's position, and I wrote a lot of that for the Sonic 1 project that I'm still technically working on. But when it comes to anything that's more complicated, you know, you know, I've coded custom monitors before, for example, but when it comes to anything a bit more elaborate, and I feel like my brain starts to frazzle, like I said, and it's understanding the, you know, the nuances of the new coding language, and part of the problem as well is I know so many from my working environment as well. Like, you know, I'm a software developer as well, so doing that stuff for a job and then coming home to do it as, you know, a hobby is not something that really appeals to me. And some people thrive on that, but me, I just want to be able to switch off. I think that's the part of the joy of why I liked coming home from being at university or college for the day, and then being able to just sort of, I mean, I see level layouting as drawing with blocks, a bit like Lego really, so that's sort of the way I approached it. It feels like I'm developing a level with building blocks, and that's what I did. Really weird oddity there with the fact that you have the electric shield but the ring's still picked up. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, obviously in the original the rings would have probably stayed there, stationary. It's nice that you know, the behaviour is different. I don't know whether it's I like it or not. It's probably the best way to put it. So yeah, I mean, if you have any questions about this, feel free to ask them. I mean, obviously, like I said, I mean, this was the, you know, one of my key projects for many years, and I know a lot about it. You know, spent a lot of time working on this, and the primary driving force behind this was well, mainly twofold. It was one that you know, there was no Sonic 3 and Knuckles ROM hack of any big extent at the time. There was a few small ones, but nothing to be big made on a major scale. So there was that, and also the fact that, you know, I'd worked with JXT, you know, for a long time, on and off on different projects, starting with Sonic 1, which is a video I've got on my, you know, my YouTube channel from a long time ago. And, you know, it was one of the first big projects I worked with on, you know, more than just me, with other people. And, you know, that was merged in with S Factor, and among other things. And, you know, Jay and I were talking, and it was just a case of, you know, I said there is no Sonic 3 and Knuckles big project, and I want to be, you know, I want to be a part of that. I want to do something about that, and that's what started off the idea of Sonic 3 DA Garden Edition. It was more an untitled Sonic 3 and Knuckles project at the time. It was originally going to be just Sonic 3, but when the disassembly came out and it was Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and you know, it made sense to port what I had across to that disassembly and sort of go from there. And I never really envisioned completing the entire thing, but you know, 6 years of development, there you go. Oh, that worked out nicely, didn't it? Oh, I tell you, the invincibility thing it never gets old. I know people get annoyed with it for being like the super theme and stuff, but it's iconic with this sort of game, isn't it? Oh, that was terrible timing on my part. And done. Miscounted. I thought that was 6, it was only 5. Oh well. I was going to say I'm on the wall up off screen. Oh, there I am. I knew I was there somewhere, so... And there we go. Okay, so this is going to be interesting, because obviously Knuckles has his own route in Hydrocity 2. This section was an absolute pain to edit, just because of the really bad collision on that moving wall, and the fact you have to put invisible insta-kill objects in a lot of these walls. And obviously Knuckles, when he glides onto a surface, his collision box is actually a lot lower than you might expect. So you usually have the, oh, hello! You see, the thing about this area here, and this area was changed many times, and the reason for that is Knuckles could manage to get up here into Sonic and Tails' area very many times, and I changed it repeatedly. And lo and behold, Knuckles cannot for the life of him actually get up there now. I mean, I could sit here all day and try, but there's no point. Hi Thorn. Yes, I'm playing it right now. I just had the urge to play it. But yeah, we have to come back and check this little section out of Sonic, but it looks like Knuckles can't actually get up there, so that's great. That's good to see. Okay. Yeah, Thorn, as I've said as well before you were here, if the audio volume needs to be adjusted anyway, please let me know. I know my voice is probably echoey. I apologise for that, but that's due to the fact I'm in a new place. I haven't got the audio levels quite right yet, and I had a lot of dropped frames earlier when trying to set this up, which is getting annoying. So yeah, I did the best I could, given the circumstances. Okay. I remember making this special stage, and at the time thinking it was okay for what it was, but I was going to come back and make it better. I never did. That's part of my problem. Sometimes I feel like if something's good as is, I leave it, and then part of my brain says, oh, you're going to come back and fix that later. I'm like, yeah. It's like I'm talking to myself internally, and I never do. I hate myself for that. To be fair, the primary example of that in this hack actually, well, the original version of this hack, was Mushroom Hill Zone Act 1 and 2's layouts. I redid them a couple of times because I was never happy with them, and I always said that I was going to come back and do them properly. I never did. And to this day, Mushroom Hill Act 2 is still, in my opinion, one of the worst layouts I've ever made. I hate it so much. But you know, it's not unplayable, and there's not any issues with it. It's just very bland and a bit crap, if I'm being honest. So yeah, we have 5 emeralds, and I'm not even trying to collect emeralds. Just sort of picking up as I go, really, which is nice. Yep. I was gonna say, I was worried that I had put the spring down too low or something. Yeah, Thorn. So what happened is I was on the end of Act 2, defeated the boss, hit the capsule, And as Knuckles was posing and the score came up, this water level just rose out of nowhere, up across the waterfall, right across to the top of the screen. And I don't know why. It's really weird. I'm not too sure what caused it. It didn't cause a problem because obviously I killed the boss and it was the end of the level, but it was just weird. And then Knuckles, when he tried to jump, as you try and jump with Knuckles underwater on any object, sort of was stuck in place for a second before he did the whole like the glide fall animation. It's very weird. The thing is though, I have seen something like this happen in the standard Sonic 3 A.I.R as well, and it was fixed in one of the previous revisions. At the end of Launch Space Zone 2 it happened, and I think I mentioned it and I even made a video. But yeah, it's something to do with the water level sort of adjusts in certain places and levels in ways that I just don't expect. Like I said, it happened in the original and it was fixed, and it might just be a leftover of that. So it might not actually have been anything to do based on what you did. It might have just been pure chance that it happened as I was playing a level of water. No, I never know. We'll find out anyway, because it might happen in Launch Space Zone 2 again, like it used to in the original, and if it does, it might be related. I'm not going to do the tool assisted trick of standing on the edge of that water chute. I can try, but I'm not too good at it, so I'm not going to risk it. I've probably picked the worst time of day to do this because the sun is now in my eyes. Oh god. It's alright, it's not going to be, it's miserable out there anyway with a lot of rain clouds, so it's just unfortunate it's peeked through right into my face right now. One of the things I always wanted to do was have it so instead of Knuckles coming up with a spring there from the ground, he actually came up from a water chute. And I did put the object from the end of Hydrocity Zone Act 2 there, but obviously the palette's completely wrong and it looks weird, so I settled for a spring and it looks fine. But obviously if I had the ability to do so, I'd probably do something a little bit more elaborate with it. Alright, let's see if I can show off this as well. It's been a while since I've tried it. There's a really well hidden secret in this wall here. You can't get in, look, and there is a switch somewhere in the level, and I'm going to say that very broadly, somewhere in the level that opens that. So I'll show you where it is, because, you know, why not? There should be that one there. Why I did this, I don't know, but so hit that triggers this bit of floor. But for anybody who's interested, you go all the way back here, back to that cave area. Yeah, I know this is ridiculously elaborate for what it is. Oh look, I can now go in here. There's a 1-up. Beforehand, I put 3 1-ups in here, and I thought, no, that's a bit too much for something so easy to find. And no one else, I've never seen anyone else find it. So there you go. Maybe I should have left it as 3 1-ups, because it's, like I said, never seen anyone else get it. So, obviously the benefit to me knowing it's there is, I made the damn thing. That's something that annoys the hell out of me, even in this engine as well. Because he's on the edge, I press down to duck, and he's facing left now, even though I landed facing right. Pet peeve, that's what that is. It's probably me getting annoyed at something so minimal, but it annoys me. You know, I'd expect him to still be facing the direction I made him land, but there you go. I mean, there are a few. There's actually some outside of the visible level areas as well. A few like sort of developer left stuff. A couple of S monitors and stuff. You could probably, I don't know if I left them in or took them out at the last minute, but originally I had like an S monitor hidden in every level that you can only get to via debug, and I had like a few times I had like DA written in rings hidden outside of the level area. But I think I removed all those pretty early on. But I think there might be 1 or 2 S monitors still lying out abound somewhere. Be interesting if anybody could ever find their way to them, actually. Considering there's this really weird glitch with the blue spinning tops in Act 2 in the original layout that I've seen a lot of people use for individual runs of this, whereby you sort of go into the level with a spinning top and you can sort of just run to the end of the level. I don't know whether you could do that in my layout, but you probably could actually, because obviously they use the same chunks, same collisions, same sort of behaviour. And if it's a quirk with the engine, then you know it's obviously still going to be there. And the sun is now gone, yay! It's just because it was blaring right into my face and I couldn't barely see the screen. So how many emeralds is that? That's 6. Yeah, she got 6, that's not bad. It's not like I've gone out of my way to get them. It's funny as well, when I first released the ROM hack of this, a lot of people was complaining saying, oh, I can't find big rings in insert zone here, or oh, there's hardly any big rings. And actually I counted them all through the entire game. And I think in total, I think there was like 8 big rings more in the Sonic 3 half and like 10 more in the Sonic & Knuckles half. And I posted these numbers and people were like, oh, well, they must be well hidden. I'm like, well, yeah, but the only reason why you're saying that is because in the original game, you know where they all are. In this, you don't. So of course you're going to say that there's more there because you know where more are. But when I posted those numbers, it's like, actually, yeah, you can very easily get, I think there's like, you know, Super Sonic or Super Knuckles, for example, by the end of like Hydrocity 1, very easily. And you can also get, you know, just like the original, you can get Hyper Sonic, Hyper Knuckles, Super Tails by the end of Mushroom Hill 2, very easily. Because, you know, I made sure that was still possible. You know, people still want to be able to play as those, even though the layouts are different. Although, you know, you don't really get to experience the full benefit of them that way, but that's up to the player, I guess. Oh yeah, spinning tops of mud, that's broken in the original game, but I don't know about here. Yeah, it's true. The amount it's as well with some of like the small little quirks to the engine and things like that. Like people go, like, you know, when people introduce like a new moveset or something, people are like, oh yeah, like it acts a bit weird. But then it's like, yeah, but you've been so used to things like roll jumping and the acceleration, deceleration of the original characters for so long. When anybody does any slight change, even if for the better, people will find a way to complain about it because it's not what they're used to. For example, rolling and then jumping like that. And if you're still rolling across the ground and then jumping, you shouldn't have any control in the original, even up to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you don't have any control. It's called a roll jump, and in the manual released in the UK, it even calls it the supersonic roll attack, I think, or something like that. It says it's a very specific action to do it. This is Thorn's version. I looked at Lego Bauer's version. I was actually going to say something about it a couple of days ago when I was looking at it, because I saw the video and obviously I gave it a little bit of a look through, and I was going to say something about it, but I've known Thorn for a very long time and he posted this and I said that I was going to do a playthrough anyway, so you know. But as I was saying, like, yeah, the whole, if you roll across the ground and you're still rolling and you tap the jump button, actually having no control is intentional behaviour. And, you know, that was a design choice all the way through to the original, through the original games. And the only way to get out of that in Sonic 3 was to do an insta-shield, which gave you air control again, or to do a glide or fly, in which case you're no longer jumping, or in ball form. So yeah, it's very strange, isn't it? But that was a design choice made at some point. So yeah. I always thought the stage colours of this looked a bit like Wario, because obviously the yellow and purple. I mean, I'm not wrong. It's just a very strange sort of colour scheme, really. I could have changed these palettes actually, but I never got round to it. I'm not too sure whether that, I still can't remember whether I deliberately left them as is or whether I just couldn't be bothered to change them. Because one of the things that I tried was changing the palettes, and as anybody would tell you, I'm not the best at making palettes. Usually my palettes are, as somebody once put it, desaturated and dull. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not the best at making custom palettes, right? Oh, that was terrible. I pressed left way too early, and that was my fault. You know, I'm not the best at making my own palettes, I'll agree with that. But I at least tried in a few places. Sandopolis 1 being one that actually left in. That wasn't actually intentional, I wasn't going to change it back. But I forgot. I literally forgot. And it wasn't until I released like version 1 that I noticed, and instead of me fixing it like I was going to fix the you know, like I made some other bug fixes, I was more focused on fixing, you know, bug fixes and releasing another version of it. But again, it escaped me that I had left the palette in. Yeah, palette editing can be a problem, yeah. And that's the thing, it's also dependent on how the original art was made. Because sometimes a palette was made specifically for the art that, you know, that uses it. For example, Hydrocity Act 2, the background is very specifically made with certain shades of blue and green in order to give off the illusion of depth. Oh yeah, this part of the layout, I'll get to it in a minute. But yeah, if you try and edit Hydrocity Act 2's palette, it looks a mess no matter, with almost any other colour scheme. Almost any other colour scheme was terrible. That's why I sort of left it as is. I tried so many different colours, reds, greens, purples, and yeah, it just didn't look good every time. There looked something a bit wrong with it. And then I realised it's because that palette had specifically been made with the art that had been made in mind for it. Yeah, like I said, Sandopolis 1 was a bit of a unique circumstance. It was entirely, like I said, I actually liked the background palette that I made for it. It's just that I never got round to removing it, and for authenticity's sake, just like you say, it was worth keeping in. It's annoying, I've already done this special stage, but I messed up on the turning. I like the fact that the turning in these special stages, you can buffer it, so you can press it way early and it will just take it on the next turn. But at the same time, I'm so lax with my control in these stages that I sometimes press it way too early. I press it for like a turn before I need to turn. It's when it's faster that I'm sort of overcompensating for myself by pressing it too early. Okay, here we go. Hello, Silverboy64. How you doing? And that one's done as well. Perfects. Are they worth it? I mean, you get a live 50,000 score, but the score doesn't mean anything, does it? I mean, there's an achievement in this game, funny enough, for it, but apart from that, nah. It's nice to go for all perfects, though. It's a nice category. Yay, I now have Super Knuckles. Woo! Which I'll be using probably not very much, because obviously Super's now put on its own button and very rarely do I press it. Not because it's not helpful, because it is, but usually if I need to turn very briefly Super, I will. Yeah, I'm doing alright. I'm not too sure whether the stream was okay, but I've not had any complaints about audio volumes or frame rate, so I presume everything's good. But yeah, I just threw the rig together very, very quickly because I just wanted to play through this, and yeah. Well, I had very little time to sort of test things and make sure it was working. I just sort of checked to make sure audio volume seemed okay and I wasn't dropping frames, which I was heavily when I first ran the stream, and there we go. Okay, so back to this at hand. If any of you have obviously played this, you'll know that this level, this part of the level is quite infamous for, okay, I've gone around an entire loop and nothing has happened. I'm back here and nothing's changed. So if I look down, there's an arrow that says left here. Those arrows are supposed to tell you how to get out of it, and it seems that even though I put those arrows posts very specifically in place, nobody bothered to look at them. Or they just got it by pure fluke. So, oh look, there's an arrow turning left, I'm going to jump left. And actually, destroying this arrowhead, as we've shown before in Act 1, doesn't just open up floors, it also opens up walls, or more specifically large blocks that can act as walls or platforms. So what that's actually done is changed the layout slightly in a way that you might not expect if you're unfamiliar with this. So if I go back around again for a third time, you'll see what I'm talking about. The reason why I added this in is because I like the fact, I like layouts that did this before, like, you know, where you have to solve a small puzzle, and I thought it wasn't difficult enough to, you know, that players couldn't figure it out, but apparently it was too difficult for some people. So these blocks are now raised like platforms, which is the whole point. So now you can progress to this new section layout up here. And we're very slowly climbing up a wall. Grab those while I'm up here. Very slowly. I know the spike wall's down there. Oh, come on. Stupid relief. Really? There you go. Yeah, that arrow, down arrow there was supposed to indicate rolling as well, so you could roll through the 3 enemies. I don't know whether anybody ever noticed that, but there you go. Oh, there's a one-up here. Surprisingly hard to get onto this pulley here. With Sonic, you have to use the electric sword. Yeah, you make a good point, Thorn. People's expectations are Ice Cap has a puzzle, Sandopolis has a puzzle. Why would Marble Garden have a puzzle? But I always thought that the level layout was sort of, you know, tuned to have puzzles the way that the objects were set. And there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of switches that trigger blocks or, you know, floor to move out the way. And oh yeah, look, you still can't get up here. Look, which is the intention. Knuckles cannot get up here. You can use Tails to get up there. You know, when you play as Knuckles and Tails in this version, something I hadn't actually thought about, but now I'm thinking about it because I realise Tails can carry you up there. I don't know whether that will cause any problems, but I don't think it will. But yeah, I don't think in any way Knuckles could actually get up there because obviously this pillar here. See, you can't spin dash jump your way onto that platform no matter how hard you try, and it's deliberately at a height which is slightly out of your reach. So yeah, Knuckles has to go the lower path. Yeah, another fire shield, very helpful. Sarcastic, I said. Oh, that's good then. No, it's more just a case of I knew that Tails could carry you up there. Obviously, you know, with Sonic, but I thought, well, because Knuckles is lower jump height, it shouldn't matter. I don't know how that'll work in Hydrocity Act 2 either, but I don't think it'll make much of a problem, because I know the game, obviously, originally, Sonic 3 A.I.R originally adjusted for, you know, slight changes in, obviously, being able to get to different places with Tails carrying Knuckles. So if it adjusts for that, then why wouldn't it adjust for, you know, different layout, for example, this layout, and that being the same thing? I don't think it really matters. I know that most characters can play the different bosses the same without much of a problem, hence why I changed it in the first place, because I thought, well, why not? Don't be a jerk. Our relief's just weird. I think there's a monitor up here. No, there isn't. Okay, there originally was. Did I remove that? I must have removed it. See, this is the thing, like, I originally had another shield monitor, sort of, it's a bit hard to show you, but basically up here there was a platform up here with one, because obviously it was going to be Knuckles' path, which is it purely is, but I must have taken that out, and I don't know why. Okay. So yeah, it's me getting so, sort of getting a bit developery there for a second. Hello, Egg Robo. And I have no rings, yay. No, Thorn, don't worry about it. I can test it out. I can check it after I finish playing the Knuckles. I can just check it and see what happens. And obviously, that was terrible. It's probably because I'm trying to talk at the same time as play. Oh, come on. Okay, What the hell is going on? I'm not pressing anything. Can I jump? I can't jump. What? I can't jump when he's doing that. Okay. I don't know whether that's the layout or what. That was really weird. Sort of walking on. It's like he's walking on the platform, but at the same time not. But I can't jump. I can only move left and right. That's really odd. Again, I don't know whether it's the engine, whether it's the layout. I have no idea. But then again, I'm one of those people who's quite infamous for also finding very weird glitches. That was one of the things I did quite a lot of Rest Factor. In testing, I just turn around and be like, here's a large list of things I've managed to do, and then Aquaslash would turn around to me and go, how have you managed to do all those? I'm like, well, I just tried running against this wall, or I tried jumping up here, and he's like, his answer most of the time would be, why did you do that? I'm like, well, why wouldn't you do that? I'm a player, I just try to do things a player might do, and also, again, getting distracted with this boss because I'm talking. This boss is annoying. Possibly true, but again, I know that the original Sonic 3 Air base makes adjustments for, like, for example, Angel Island Act 1, whereby the mini-boss should load in properly and stuff like that. And that's what I'm talking about, that little intro, look at that. See, that's a small thing you did, and I really appreciate you doing that, thank you. It just sort of makes it a bit more authentic, you know? Tails actually drops Knuckles into Carnival Night because he helped him with the boss. Doesn't just walk in and Tails has completely disappeared. That was more a restriction on my end though, not understanding how to sort of do things with the intro, so I just sort of gave up with it. I tried a few times though. Okay. Yeah, it might be the same problem then. I mean, it's not a problem, it's there is an object to stop Tails flying there, I think, as well, in the game. But I don't know, I mean, if you could think a way around it, great, but otherwise I wouldn't worry too much about it. Damn door. I wanted those rings. I haven't turned super. That's something I want to do. I've got the emeralds, haven't I? I can't transform. I can't seem to transform properly. Okay. I've got the emeralds, but I don't think I can. Oh, that's really odd. It's usually that button there, but that's jump on this controller. That's really weird. Is it that? No. I don't know. I know I have got all the 7 emeralds, haven't I? Pretty sure I have, but for some reason I can't seem to transform. Really weird. Oh, there we go. I didn't have enough rings, so I didn't even notice my ring count. That is so bad. Oh my lord. You'd think I'd be better than that. I was trying to transform with less than 50 rings. Seriously, that deserves like a mental face balm. That's terrible. Oh, this boss. So boring. Plus, it's really weird. It's really weird boss as well, because it's just stand there and wait. It's only got 4 hits. It hits itself 4 times. I did this thing before where I was counting how many bosses in Sonic 3 and Knuckles kill themselves. So you've got this mini boss, then you've got Flying Battery Act 1, Flying Batteries Sub Act 2 as I call it. You know, the Wing Fortress knockoff. You got this, you got Sandogulus Act 1. You know, how many bosses like to kill themselves by sheer stupidity? Technically Egg Robo gets killed by Metal Sonic as well at the end of Knuckles' story. Which is really weird actually if you think about it. Egg Robo just gets literally outright killed by Metal Sonic. He just jumps at him, tries to hit you, you glide out of the way, and poor Egg Robo gets decimated. There you go. transform, de-transform very quickly. Yeah, yes, I know, it's my stupidity I didn't have anywhere near enough rings, and I'm there going, why can't I transform like an idiot? I think it's through here, I can never remember. Oh, it's just a fire shield. I hid a lot of things like that, sort of behind those rotating candy cane sort of structures. Well, just because I could really, not for any other reason. Oh, pardon me. Isn't there a layout back down here as well? Yeah, there is, of course there is. I think I'm too high for it. Yeah, it's lower. We just have to go round. That's annoying. Oh, I just transform into super and do it then. Making custom chunks to make double elevators work, because the original didn't even bother with having sort of like a background to a double elevator. Oh yeah, back up now. I just missed it, but obviously there's where the Knuckles cutscene was. This one-up was originally really hard to get. Well, for me anyway. And then I saw a lot of people just do a spin dash here, and it's something I hadn't even thought about just like that. It was supposed to be harder than that, but you know, what can you do? That block I just destroyed is actually the trigger for the water levelers, if I remember correctly. Very weird that, you know, that's the trigger, but there you go. And the reason why I'm using this music is because as I said before, I like the invincibility music, but listening to it for every single level for the rest of the game was actually quite annoying, and I quite like this track. It's one of the few from the Sonic 3 prototype I actually quite like. Just gonna remove that temporarily. Go Knuckles' unique route here at the. Let's try it again, so I didn't have the right height for it. There you go. Yeah, there's up here in it. Yeah, thought so. There you go. I remembered that bit. Again, another small thing I remember as I'm playing through. I actually haven't done a full playthrough of this in quite some time. The last one I did was actually, you know, for the ROM hack of this was when I did it on a stream. You know, I was originally doing dev videos for individual levels, but it took a long time, so I sort of gave up with that and just did a stream of it all in one go. Oh yeah, and the height of this guy has deliberately been lowered for this fight, so you can actually hit him. Like so. That was fun. That took me ages to figure out how to bloody do as well in the original, because like I said, I'm not very good with coding, and getting him to be lower purely for Knuckles took me ages to figure out how to do and how to implement. I think he's like 32 pips or something lower, just to accommodate Knuckles' lower jump height, so you can actually still hit him like you can with Sonic and Tails. And that's Act 2 done. And again, because Knuckles shoots out of a cannon into Ice Cap, he shouldn't come out of the teleporter, which obviously happened in the ROM hack. Yay, I'm happy. See, he hits the wall like Tails does, in a ball form. I like that. And there's probably still the teleport through the wall, but it makes no difference. It's just unused. Oh yeah, so I need to explain to Thorn very quickly as well about this stupid little wall. So in the original, there's originally an ice block and it goes forever, and it goes through a wall to the right. Now that wall can be used for wall zipping, as you've probably seen in like tool assisted speedruns and such. The intention was to push this block like this and ride it through the wall. But even in the ROM hack, sometimes, it doesn't happen a lot, the camera would get a bit lost on the first playthrough, so you'd end up with going off the screen, and then when the camera caught up, you'd be stuck where I'm stood here as Sonic or Tails, with both walls left and right still intact, and because they can't break the wall by punching, you would literally be stuck here. You'd have to reset, and it happened so often, and the amount of times I tried to adjust it to make sure the camera didn't do that, but yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, that's but I'm glad that Thorn just literally outright removed the walls. It's probably better for the better because it doesn't really add anything to it. Which is annoying that, you know, that's how it was supposed to work, and it sort of worked most of the time, but then sometimes didn't, and you'd get stuck, so yeah. Oh, okay, well thank you for that. I appreciate that. I had no idea, but yeah, it's, to me, because obviously Tails sort of jumps into the level like that, doesn't he, in the ball form. So it would have made sense if you had to be able to use that or something similar to that, but if you did your own code for it, then fair play to you, man. Yeah, the shields are pretty broken against the Orbinauts in this level. You can sort of run at an Orbinaut and the spikes just disintegrate. I always thought that was pretty neat, but at the same time makes the enemies kind of useless. As soon as you have a shield, you can just sort of run through them. No, I'm going to try that. Nearly got myself killed. Like I just did there, just literally run through him. Really? Fine. It's only until I get the shield over here that I'm going to de-transform, so... do I still have speed up? No, there, it ran out. I was going to say, for a minute there I thought the speed up might have got stuck. But I thought it can't do that, surely. Not in a new engine. Hang on, can I still get up there? No. There you go. Oh dear. Yes, you can still get up there. Is this still blocked off? Yeah, that's good. It's just worth checking just to make sure, because otherwise, you know, that defeats the whole purpose of Knuckles having his path down here. Just double checking. It's not like I'm doubting you or anything, by the way. Oh yeah, let's see if I can... Doesn't work here, but on the in the ROM hack, you can break them back down very easily, even in the original, by spin dashing fast enough through the transition. It struggles to load the next, you know, act 2 quick enough. Oh come on! Fine. I wonder. No, I don't know, I was just thinking maybe you could probably get up on that wall and hold on. I know there's a really bad, what do you call it? Not in this, but in the mobile port of Sonic 2, you know, Oil Ocean, at Act 1, because you can play as Knuckles, obviously. And there's that giant sort of oil container sort of suspended above the signpost. And if you glide at that and hold onto the wall just before the you know, the transition to make you walk off screen happens, the AI can't make you jump off the wall, so you're just stuck holding the wall forever. It's quite bad, but it only happens on certain mobile devices when the screen display is big. Because if it's small enough, then you can't even, it's not even on screen. Such a strange thing as well, but it just reminded me of that for a second, that was all. Oh yeah, and obviously Orbinauts in this level, you can just glide through them with Knuckles' glide, which is really odd. I don't know whether that was intentional or not, but there you go. I used to have a secret in this wall, I don't know whether I took it out or not, I probably did. But there you go, another one of those things that, again, I can't remember whether I left it in or took it out. Yeah, this level is not fun to edit, I'll tell you that. It's not a badly designed level with the chunks and the artwork and such, but it's not like great by any means. It really isn't. It's got problems. Cool, that's locked. Oh, actually, that's a good point, Thorn. With the cutscene here that I used the object from Hydrocity 2, did that cause any problems? Because I know originally I just moved the objects around and then used the cutscene object in this level. But if that was changed to like a hard-coded event or something, would that have caused problems? It's just something I thought about. I don't know whether or not it uses certain objects as like hard-coded scripted events or something, I don't know. No, I mean the ice Organauts always had that sort of behaviour, even in the original. It's just something that I always thought was very strange. Like, why do their icicles disintegrate to almost everything? Oh, that's good then. Yeah, I mean that's like I said. I mean the cutscene uses the objects that are in the game already with their specific IDs. I mean I don't think it would have caused a problem. It's more just a case of me considering whether the fact that those objects instead were using like scripts or something to handle them in a different way. But if it's using the in-game object still, then it makes no difference. Yeah, but that's very minor, isn't it? I'm not worried by that. It's probably something that script, like I said, an extra part of script that adds to make you go into that full animation, but it's really not worth doing. Like, I don't see. I mean, I see the, you know, it looks slightly nicer, but it's a nice to have rather than required in any way. Is this different? It looks. I don't remember it being like this. It might be. Maybe it's me. I don't know. I don't remember. This looks like something I wouldn't do with the layout, which is why it's confusing me. Anyway, I just looked at it, I was like, I swear I wouldn't do that. Well, anyway, so yeah, we're in launch space now. I'm going to show you what that does, because a lot of people wondered. Go back over here. Yes, I like to hide secrets if you go back a little bit. No, it's like the antithesis of what you'd expect a player to do, isn't it? What, you want me to go left for a little bit? Well, have you considered it? Okay, that's fine. These the frogs that punch left and right, I don't know if they were in the Sonic 3 prototypes, but I don't know if they were actually in the final. Okay, yeah, that would explain it. I was looking at it like, I swear that was different. Oh yeah, the transitions of this level and Flying Battery Zone, and pardon the phrase, can go take a running jump. I hated modifying these, they were a pain in the butt, and also, because I was using, what's it called, Soned 2, and I know I don't like to say bad things about people that have spent their time making tools and stuff, but when you save this level in Soned 2, it likes to change the format slightly to the point where if you try to reopen it in the same tool, it broke the layout. So annoyingly, I had to ask Marky Jester to create a tool to literally fix the layout for me, and it was literally called Marky Jester's Sonic 3 and Knuckles Level Layout Fixer. He literally wrote this tool just to fix the layouts anytime I made any edits to it, and it was a pain because I had to run it every time I made any sort of change to this layout in any way. I had to do the exact same for Flying Battery. But I'm not saying anything bad against Soned 2 or its developer, which I think is Stealth. Not at all, because the tool, without the tool, I wouldn't have been able to make the thing. Not at the time period I did. But it's just annoying that I did that, and I had to, resources were required to get around it. But yeah, if you don't know how the indoor-outdoor sections work in Flying Battery in Launch Space, there's basically another layout, another two layouts rather, actually off to the side of the original layout, and they're loaded in when you pass certain trigger points. So you'll pass like a certain part on the x-axis or the y-axis, and it will load this layout into a certain place in memory. So because I couldn't edit those hard-coded points because I didn't know how, I had to develop new layouts around those existing trigger points. Oh, you couldn't get over tails, can't you? Which was, wasn't the most difficult thing in the world to do, but it was really annoying every time I had this idea for a great level, a set piece in the level, and I couldn't put it in because it interfered with the existing trigger points for indoor-outdoor. So yeah, that was awkward. You can't do the trick on this, I don't think, that you can in the original. I think that the engine's behaviour is slightly different. I reckon just cheese these guys for it as quick as possible, super. Get down here. Was I just in the glide animation on the wall there? I think I was. I think it's because it was like trying to de-transform or something. That's really weird. I wonder if I can go back up here. I doubt it. I don't think you can because of the layout, but I'm just intrigued to see whether anything happens. The camera's locked and everything. Yeah, it's very weird. If I remember correctly though, if you go back up here now... There you go. So the remains of this artwork have been replaced with spikes. Because the spikes loaded in. Yeah, that's in the original as well. I'm not worried by it, but it's just something I know. It's very weird. Trying to explore the not yet flooded section of Launch Base 2. Would help if you hit it, please, Knuckles. Thank you. Now, I can't feel like I remember what that does. Oh yeah, it does this. But for a second I was like, well, why have I put that there? Like, what's it even do? That's pretty close to the file I get for that, isn't it? Get up there. Stupid Knuckles. There. Oh, I missed his jump. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, I actually had quite a lot of fun making this layout because, you know, get to explore Knuckles, a Knuckles-specific layout with some water that moves around a bit, and obviously now you have the water level raising and lowering based on the pillar being smashed. It was one of the more interesting levels to develop a layout for. Compared to, say, I don't know, Ice Cap Zone, which is annoying. Yeah. I forgot you could just jump up there like that. Knuckles, what was that? There's some really weird, like, sprite interactions on this, aren't there, from time to time? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I keep on noticing them. I don't know if you can still glitch up there. No, you can't. Okay. No, I didn't put anything up there, that's fine. Just double checking. What? This is different. This is a little weird. Oh, I see why, okay. Yeah. I wonder if there's another tile that would do that, another chunk that would do that better, but I see why that's been done. Okay. Because obviously the block. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Thorn, you can probably confirm there's a reason why why that's been changed. Probably, like I said, probably because of the block and obviously the positioning of the boss. Oh yeah, that was weird. And obviously got to face Big Arm as well. Big Arm's cool until you've like faced him like a million times, and then he's just wait until he comes into the screen so you can hit him once. Because it goes against some of the original designs of Sonic bosses where you can just sort of wail on them for, you know, between 4 and 8 times in one cycle, but this is just one hit, wait, one hit, wait. Well, it's not tiling, it's the chunk placement, but I said it's probably a reason why it was done like that. Probably to accommodate the boss. I'm not. It's not the worst thing in the world, but based on the chunks that I know exist, it's probably not another one that fits there, if I'm being honest. Unless you edited another one of the ones that wasn't used. That's just a lot more effort for something so ridiculously minor. There's no point. Also, thanks for confirming that the stream's still working. I was unsure. Should probably double check that, but I'm halfway through the game already, so. And bye, Knuckles. Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine then. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought there'd be a good reason for it. I wasn't questioning it or saying it was a bad decision. I was just wondering why. Now I know, so that's fine. Oh, I can't be bothered to get. Yeah, I'll do these. I don't really want to, but I really should. So I know that stage 5 and 7, they're not hard for me anyway, but they're hard for other people, and they're just more annoying than anything to do. This is the another one of those special stages that I developed very quickly as a placeholder, and I was going to replace with something better, and I never did. It was just like, oh, we need another generic special stage 1. It's like a Knuckles' end, and this is really easily made in the editor. Like, it's unreal. But yeah, definitely would have redone this one because there's nothing special to it. It's quite bland. And I'm missing a ring, but I know where it is over here. There you go. It's really hard not to get perfect on that one, to be honest. Should we adjust the chair again? There we go. That's better. And 1 Super Emerald out of 7. Yay. Everybody loves Mushroom Hill, don't they? I was being sort of sarcastic, but again, like I said earlier, this is Act 1's not too bad, but I was never too happy with. That's quite an interesting score. Yeah, it wasn't happy with that 2's layout at all in this level. It really wasn't. Oh yeah, it made me really fast now. Probably a change to the better, if I'm being honest. That's one of Dr. Robotnik's the various speed traps. Don't worry, it happens in the original game too. Just like we need to kind of throw me into death there. Fun. Trust me to get that. Would have been fine if I'd have zipped out the other way probably, but oh well. What are you gonna do about it? It's not deflating, don't worry, I'm just a little bit annoyed that it happened, because it can. Oh god, not again with that. Oh. These, those mad moles have really weird properties on the mushrooms they throw. You can obviously, if you glide into them with Knuckles when they're thrown, you sort of get a lot of speed in the other direction, but also if you're climbing up a wall and you climb up a cliff when they throw a mushroom at you, you can actually get thrown into a wall almost every time. It's quite a consistent glitch that I can pull off in the original due to the placement of one of them, and you can just zip through all the to the end of Mushroom Hill Act 1 very quickly with it. It's not as fast as the whole using the doors to sort of clip through with the Super Emerald, but it's still fast enough that you can finish the level, and you know, faster than you could if you ran it from start to finish. But yeah, basically that was the Sonic 3 that you just saw there with the weird, just being stuck in a wall and then zipping out. And again, the reason why I mentioned Dr. Robotnik's speed trap is because that was actually in the instruction manual of the game, which it even says don't run too fast in certain places or you might get stuck in Dr. Robotnik's nefarious speed trap with a trademark at the end of it, as if to imply that it's intentional behaviour and not poor collision detection. We'll just gloss over that bit there. I think the intention was obviously they were going to fix it when they released Sonic and Knuckles and you can lock them on. But even then, that didn't really fix much. It was more just a case of here's the other half of the game. Yay, we got the Fanta. I say while drinking a can of Coke. Yes, I know. Don't worry, it's not product placement. You can't see it. I'm not going to say what brand of Coke either. But I will say it's a red one. It's quite big. Bigger than the blue one. So back to good old Mushroom Hill. Where you there's a lot of really clever actual loops in this level actually. You know, the way that they sort of intersect and the use of path swappers around them is actually quite baffling. I'm annoyed that I missed that big ring, so I'm actually going to go back for it. It's up there. No. Try so a third time, because that's again another one of Sonic 3's really weird quirks with collision. I'm not going to roll this, I'm just going to run. There you go. And now to... Oh, this special stage is interesting when I developed it. It's very simple in its design. Originally it was a little bit more elaborate than it is now, but then it was too difficult because of the placement of where I put some things. Mostly a collection of blue spheres. But yeah, just go in here, grab these in the middle. So originally there was less spring bumpers, a lot less, and these sections of the rings here would have actually connected to each other on both sides of the the level, because obviously the whole thing is connecting in a huge loop, isn't it? So you could have got lost pretty quickly, and you also could have got yourself stuck in a way, which is why I simplified it quite a lot. I was going to put something back in there, never did. Also because editing these was a pain just a general pain to do, because I had to take an original Sonic 3 and Knuckles ROM, open it in Ezra Sonic Editor 2 and use the blue sphere editing thing on there, save the special stage, then create a new disassembly using that ROM, which allowed me to then take the special stage files from that new disassembly and put them into the one that I'd already made, which was not fun. But the things you do for trying to get a project finished, eh? So we are back at the last section of Mushroom Hill, and I don't know what... Oh, this is a bubble shield up there. It's nothing special. And here's the boss, which we can't transform for. I tried it again. I'm sorry, I tried it again. I tried to transform. This time, not because I haven't got enough rings, because I haven't got the actual emerald to do so. And he's destroyed. Fun. And skip those because nobody wants to watch the score. Oh look, Knuckles, the switch is blue. Very weird. I thought that was supposed to be red. I don't know why that was important. This still sort of works. Although if you look very carefully you can see there's a palette change. Oh look, it's brown, green. That's more of a limitation of both the original engine and the amount of the amount of screen space they were trying to hide, really. There's not really much Sonic 3 A.I.R could have done about that, unless it was to actually expand the layout by another chunk of you being inside the cave, in which case you would have probably noticed, which would have then affected a lot of other things as well. Having to adjust boss positions, object positions, hard-coded events. It's just not worth it. And you can barely see it anyway. But I did. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it? It's sort of the palette changes depending on wherever the player is, and obviously if because of the larger screen space, it's it's slightly visible on the sides. I mean, the original game gave quite a lot of leeway in regards to the fact that you couldn't even see the palette change. But obviously this has to be a bit clever with the fact that it barely happens just off the side of the screen. I mean, like I said, if I hadn't pointed it out, you probably wouldn't even have noticed. It wouldn't have made any difference. Oh, okay. See, this is what I mean. I didn't know that was how it worked. Would explain why when you're in debug mode, what's it called? And you press the button to turn in from Knuckles into an object. Knuckles' palette on the life icon turns blue. So it's not actually using Knuckles' palette as loading into the game like that. It's oh, okay. See, I'm trying to understand as I'm playing, and then that's me getting distracted at the same time, which is never good. I guess that's one way of getting around the original palette limitations, isn't it? Because obviously the reason why Knuckles has yellow socks as an AI player originally is because of the lack of colours that are available to draw them both. Yeah, I've just noticed the time and realised I ain't got myself any food every. That's a problem. Well, it's not much of a problem. It just means obviously I can't grab anything until at least I finish this, which is going to take a while. It's not the end of the world, though. Yeah, this isn't much different from the original. The way that the palette changes again, hidden by Knuckles going up and down that passageway there. More because I was again trying to work in the original restrictions of the hard-coded events of the original game. So this is the special stage 5 of the Sonic and Knuckles half, which is infamous for being a pain to do. Only for one small thing I added in at the last minute, which I still kind of regret doing because it annoys too many people for what it's worth. You'll see it in a minute. It's more because people don't like walking backwards in this game, and I can't, this on stages, and I can't blame them. So if I do the easy part first, get it out of the way. I'm not going to bother getting it perfect. It's just not worth it, especially not on this one. Okay, so we need 8 blue spheres, and we have to go grab them one at a time. 1, 2, and so on. You get the point. You can do this in many ways. I usually turn around. Some people I've seen do it actually by running backwards, which is just insane. Why would you do that on yourself? I mean, you can, if you're that way inclined. If you'd like to give yourself that extra bit of difficulty for no reason. But yeah, because you're spending so much time grabbing individual blue spheres, the stage can get really fast doing this as well. There you go. The infamous special stage 5, the big parade one, is now collected. That's 5 or 7. And it's going to be interesting when I get to the special stage 7 as well, to show you how to actually approach that, because the amount of people I've seen who don't do it the way that I intended and then wonder why they get stuck. And I'll show them the way it's originally intended to be achieved. It might, like I said, because it's not obvious, it's probably my fault for not making it clear as to how you're supposed to approach it. Well, that can be rectified. Wow. Not in the game now, but I can at least show you how it's supposed to be done, so in the future when you do it yourself, you now know how to do it. Well, you now know the intended way, rather. I'm just gonna get hit deliberately and then spin dash here, because try and get as much of that boss done as possible. I like the fact that you see some graphical glitches sometimes on this section as well in A.I.R, where it tries to load in the next pillar, but the boss is already destroyed, so you see it appear very briefly and then disappear. Happens on both the spike chain and the pillar itself. And here comes the flying battery with the really cool looking mole pilot, which I thought always looked really cool. I forgot you could fast forward cutscenes. Yeah, that's funny. This whole time I've been watching them all, I could have found. That was weird. Okay. Yeah, you can fast forward cutscenes on this. I completely forgot. That would have saved a bit of time. Oh, don't. There you go. They say cutscene. I remember now. There's also other like scripted things that can happen that you can also sort of fast forward to. I can't remember like what they all are. I think it's like transitions between things you can speed up, like between levels and anything that technically could be considered a cutscene where you don't have control of the character. I guess is probably what you can speed up. You're supposed to grab onto that when you come down, but I think again that's an original game thing rather than Sonic Air thing. That seemed to work fine. I've deliberately missed a lot of big rings in this level. Not just because I can't. In this level, you have to sort of find your way to get them, instead of just walking into them casually. I'd rather just ignore them unless they're right in my way. I wish I could just grab them as I go. As I was saying earlier, a boss that likes to kill himself. Come on. Grab the ring. What are you hitting? I'm not there. Yeah, I was at least trying to go for the whole like floating in the air glitch, but I don't know whether I could pull it off. I don't even know whether it's still in this actually. Yeah, let's go this way, because not a lot of people go this way. With the spiders also pick you up a lot faster. Quite a nice small change, but it's warranted nonetheless, because my god, they take forever in the original. Who wants to wait around just for the thing to pick you up? I say while riding these very slow moving, almost elevator type platforms. Oh yeah, secret way here by the way, if you didn't know. Who doesn't love hiding things behind pushing a spike out of the way on one level only in the game? It wasn't the background in this level towards the lower path of it looks a bit broken. I don't know whether it's just me, it just looks like the art and tiling is just not there. Obviously in the Sonic 3 prototype that was released a couple of months, back at the end of last year, the background is completely different there, so maybe it could even just be a leftover of the fact that it wasn't even completely changed. Leftovers as it were. Not too sure. It's just food for thought. And another boss that likes to kill himself. Not technically a boss though, is it? And I'm just literally waiting for this thing to hurry up. Can't speed it up either. Come on. Are you done? Yeah. Oh, hello. Random tiling issue. Also, I'm going to apologise and go on record to say that I didn't mean for this section to be as boring as it is. But what can you do? I mean, obviously the original had that intricate half pipe backing on itself, and yeah, the spike set, a few rings. Instead, I've just got a ride up through a very winding pipe with spikes. Could be better, but I love the fact that the artwork on him is finally fixed in this boss, opposed to randomly facing Eggman. It's a small change, which is nice. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. Oh yeah, fast forward cutscene. Oh, okay, yeah. I did it wasn't something like that, but yeah, it was just weird how the tiles get drawn when the screen unlocked like that, and it looked like there was a strip missing. Hey, look, it's one of the only levels in this project with its own palette in the background. Look. Ooh, red, not purple. Make of that what you will. That explains just to the extent of which I can do palette changing, which is to say not a lot, and not very well. Oh, the slowness of this level sometimes. I didn't help that, I know. Could have done things differently in places, but there you go. I mean, there's me trying to criticise the original, and yet I do the exact same thing with the same problems. It's like, who are you to do it? And there's a one up here, just because it would be nice to at least hide one there. And Knuckles can go down here. Just wanted a shortcut, and I completely missed the ring. Like, I'm so annoyed with myself for that. Find another one now. It's got here. Well, I deliberately went that way with Knuckles, take the shortcut and get the big ring, and yeah, completely just fell past it. I was so stupid for doing that. I always liked the puzzle nature of this level, you know, with the switches that make the doors slowly move back and forth. Sort of probably what inspired me to make Marble Garden do the same with its layout. But again, people weren't really expecting that, and as we know, if you're not expecting something to be there then, and it's thrown in your face, people then usually go complaining about it. I'm glad that this thing raises quicker though, because my god, it takes forever in the original. Like the proper cursors to the egg golem for Psycho Mantis 2, isn't it? Come on, you over here. Now I just wait. I literally wait for him to jump his way over to his doom. Knuckles is gonna punch some air. There you go. Trying to remember where my monitors are. Slightly off. There's a 1-up monitor, I think, so slightly to the left of that, in the floor. I only just about missed it. Oh yes, as you probably have realised, the ghosts come out at the start for all players. It's not just a Knuckles specific behaviour anymore. Just because I really didn't want to have to accommodate the egg capsule that releases them. Keeping that in its original placement was annoying to have to deal with. And also the fact that it was one of the small things that I could edit in code, because it was actually very well commented, and all it basically said was check if player equals 2, I think it was 2 or 3 for Knuckles, if so branch, and then it was like load ghost, and I thought, hang on, just take out the check. So I literally commented out 2 lines, tested it, and lo and behold, the ghost loaded for everybody, and I thought, oh perfect, that'll do. Something slightly different to keep in there. Here we go, special stage 7 of the Sonic & Knuckles half. Here's how I intended people to play it. So it really is a bit like a homage to the original one, where you do a lot of walking backwards, and then you just turn left here, and then do it again the exact other way that you've just done it. Which apparently seems to throw people off, because they see the rings and the blue spheres in the other direction and immediately run for them, and that's something I hadn't even considered. And I've just literally lost my chance of getting a perfect, so I didn't jump the blue sphere. But the rest of the special stage is actually really easy, because all it is just picking up 6 of these patterns, the squares in what, you know, set down to 2 different paths that you end up going back down anyway. And again, that's another one of the problems where you as a developer have an idea in your head, you implement it, and you developed it, so you know the exact way you're supposed to, you intend something to happen, and then when you give it to the masses, and they nearly all of them approach it in a completely different way. And trust me, I'm not the first person to do it, I'm definitely not the last person to do it. It's happened on a number of projects in history. And yeah, Knuckles got a Super Emerald. I think I'm missing 1, aren't I? Am I missing 1? This is number 6? Yeah, because I did 5 and 7. I need to go get Super Emerald 6, which is the last one I'm missing. Oh, the little cute mini ghost. Also, hearing the remix of this in Team Sonic Racing was rather nice. Yep, that's exactly it, Thorn. You're right. You can intend for something to be done in any number of ways. You can even have an entire test team of 10, 20 people who will agree with you that that's the way they would approach it. Release it to the masses, and you get hundreds upon thousands of people going, I don't understand, how do you do this? And I'm just like, to me it's obvious. To the testing team who didn't develop it, it was obvious. Fortunately to you, yeah. So this is another one of the really weird things that I did, and I still to this day don't know why I did it, where the sand is now mostly flat. I think I did it just to accommodate the fact that it was easy to develop the layout around it, although the sand does feel like it acts slightly different here. Like Knuckles' interaction with the ground is a bit bumpy, and I remember the collision was flat, but I made it flat rather. It might actually just be the collision that was used on this floor, I'm not too sure, but it feels off. Not in a bad way, it just feels more bumpy and it works with the, you know, the art, but it just doesn't feel flat like I think I made it. Yeah, so Knuckles seems to be like hopping as he's walking, like slightly dipping into the ground. So it's not a bad thing. Oh yeah, I deliberately made that wall non-climbable because otherwise you can kind of break this bit a bit. Oh, but this is Knuckles' a small section that you can take in here just to skip this most of this sand raising section because it's a bit boring. I could have ripped it all out entirely, but I thought I'd at least keep it in some capacity because I could at least edit the layout to it a bit. So who loves mazes? Anyone? I go around this loop, I go down here, I then go left, I then press absolutely nothing like the original game, grab this loop, and wait a minute, I've been here before. But then again, it wasn't much of a puzzle because anybody who's played the original game probably thought to themselves, oh wait, I can just jump off here, and that's exactly what you can do here. In more ways than one. However, if you do multiple jumps, you end up straight back on the same slide, so I think you can still go down here. Yeah. What do you mean, nope? Saying nope to what? Of course there's going to be audio lag, so I have no idea what you said that to. A delay. Okay. Oh yeah, of course. For a second I forgot where I'm supposed to go. Okay, so we go over here. Oh, you don't? Oh, I see. Well, why not? It's like an escape room, only not. So now another fun boss coming up. This boss always caused me problems in the original because I didn't understand how just smacking it in the face wasn't doing any damage to it. It wasn't overly clear to me that I was only knocking away the body away from it first. Obviously now it's not a problem, but can it still fire the laser? Oh yeah, it can. There you go. Oh, what was that? It's that graphical glitch up there. Do that again. Do that again. Oh dear, that is weird. It's not supposed to look like that when it fires. Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just somebody ported somebody Thorn in the chat ported Sonic 3 DA Garden Edition to the fan game Sonic 3 A.I.R. So this is now running in a different engine with widescreen, extra features and stuff. And yeah, I just thought I'd give it a go because you know it's based on a project I worked on and. Whoa, hold on a minute. Well, why just... give me just a second to die and witness that again. Did I just miss something? But yeah, no, it's certainly interesting to sort of play through this in a different engine and, you know, experience it again but in a different way. No, it's just... That was actually just me getting a bit mixed up with my layout because I haven't played Lava Reef Act 1 Knuckles' layout in a long time with this project, so I swear I saw something else that I hadn't. It was just me. That's just unfortunate. Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there with the laser on the Sandopolis boss. When it was firing, just on the frames it was firing on, it also had that really weird rectangle glitch of a thing load up above it every time. It's very weird. Don't know what that is. I don't think it would be based on this. It might have actually just been like, you know, the original engine does that, and if so, I'm sure Yukarok can fix it. Then again, this isn't this is the most recent version, which is the. That's true. There is a restart on the pause menu. I completely forgot. But as I was going to say, like, there's I completely forgot what I was going to say. That's annoyed me now. I was going to say something, and I can't remember what it was. So that's annoying. Oh yeah. By the way, I would have loved to have changed this because this is the most cryptic thing I bloody put in, and I wish I hadn't. I'm sorry about that. And the noise. So you're supposed to use these rocks to launch you up. There's springs underneath them. Yeah, I wish I hadn't done that. The amount of people I've seen who get here as Sonic go to this wall and go, I can't progress, let me just give up. Yeah. My apologies. Let's get the last Super Emerald done while I'm here. Oh yeah, I remember this one. It's literally just follow a pattern. Slightly different to the original ideas, special stages that you would have in the original game. But yeah, you just follow this pattern. It's not very clever or anything, but it does the job. Yeah, I want to say thank you to everybody for joining me on the stream today. It's nice to be able to be able to play this and also sort of get feedback, obviously from yourselves in the chat. It's more not feedback from me per se though. It's because obviously Thorn can fix some of the issues if he wants to, but more just to see how this how this game's been ported across and enjoying it again in a slightly different way. It's brings some new life into it. And plus the fact that I was being inundated constantly with people asking me to port this, and I really didn't want to do it. It just seemed like a lot of effort for something that I wasn't going to get much out of. But again, Thorn, I do appreciate you doing it, so thank you. And now we have Super Knuckles. Yay! Can't skip this cutscene though. I can't transform, I know I haven't got enough rings, I'm not going to make that mistake again. I definitely don't have enough rings now. Oi. That's unfortunate. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? A lot of people. The thing is, Chris, right? And it's weird calling you that, but I'm not going to get to it. Anyway, but the thing is, I do like watching people play games, and that's the thing. I think when you're growing up, you like playing them yourself. But I feel like at my age, and I'm not saying I'm old because I'm not, but I find a lot of enjoyment these days is comes from watching other people experience them. And it's not because I'm lazy, it's just because I feel like I get the same sort of experience I did as a kid but watching someone else play it. And I can understand like parents who like watching their kids play games, like I totally can understand that. I guess it's why you get a lot of these Let's Players as well, don't you? They get huge audiences from people watching. And I was talking to my cousin Martin about it as well, and he quite likes watching people play games these days as opposed to playing them. So I totally understand where you're coming from. It's not that you don't get, because you get the same sort of experience of playing it. You don't get to make the same decisions, but you still get to experience the storyline or the game's initial premise as well from start to finish. So I totally understand that. I love this tune. I always have done. That's why it's my ringtone. It's been my ringtone for as long as I can remember. Nice, classy way of defeating him. Just let him kill himself and get him. I don't think you can class that under bosses that kill himself if you deliberately super and he hits into the ground where you are. But it's close enough. So Lava Wraith 2, pretty much the final true zone of Knuckles' gameplay. Now this layout was actually quite fun to make. Lava Wraith 2 actually lends itself quite well to being quite creative in the way that you can lay down chunks in a custom way and the objects that are in the level as well. Oh yes, yeah. Yes, there is about a 20-second delay, but that's expected annoyingly with YouTube. it could be worse actually, because I've had it where it's about a minute, and then obviously I have no idea what people are saying in regards to what. So I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, of course. The whole point of this part of the layout is you go down to A.I.R, and then because I fell down, you can't get to that part up there, but it's supposed to do if I can do it. Intended, of course. Let's do this. Use Knuckles' glide to your advantage. Just get up to that higher path. And actually use a little bit of Hyper Knuckles while we unlocked him. So otherwise, what's the point, mate? And slowly ride this back up there, because I think I'm supposed to go here, or go in there, which I actually completely forgot about. Oh wait, I'm supposed to go down. There you go then. Can they still get you in your Hyper Knuckles? They can. Just wondering how... it fades off because the object despawned. It's just interesting because I thought maybe you could probably go really far with them. I know that they are really broken in... what's it called? I can't remember what it is. It's something where they're in another game that they're in and they're completely broken. Oh, that's it. Sonic Mania. Yeah, Sonic Mania. They're broken to all hell. Like, their coding doesn't work right at all. You can like trigger double deaths with them very easily. What's it called? They could take your rings into negative and 0. It's really bad. That's what I was thinking of. I kept on looking at them thinking, oh, they're going to do that behaviour again where they break out, but they didn't. Pretty much that's the extent of this mod, because unfortunately this is the final part of Knuckles' gameplay. It's just the same boss fight. It's a shame really, but you know, what can you do? I'm deliberately holding this off as long as I can. This is the final instance of a boss being killed. I was going to say killing itself, but technically not being killed by another boss, because Egg Robo gets by Metal Sonic. It's just a tragic end, really. It's what is basically Knuckles' counterpart to Eggman in this story. I wonder if the floating island still goes down by 1 pixel every time it finishes its cycle of moving left to right. Yes, that's me being technical. I know it's you know, I'm not going to stand here for 20 minutes and wait. I'm probably could defeat the Super Metal Sonic fight of this in 2 phases. Probably, if I could get the hits in right. Yeah, I'm gonna play it from the start. That's Super Knuckles' story. Entire project of start to finish, Angel Island Design, all the Free to Sky Sanctuary with Knuckles done. And you can hear the... Oh, everybody knows it's basically Stranger in Moscow, but you can't say that because it's not legit. I say with shifty eyes. But that the improved bass there from the Mega, that isn't obviously the Mega Drive. It's the engine using much better sound clips there. Sounds really good. I think we can speed this up. There you go. Fast forward the credits. It just seems like a bit of a very strange thing to put in, really. But at the same time, I guess, you know, just get rid of them, past them quick enough. All these wonderful people for making such a great game so many years ago. 27 years now. 26, yeah, 26 years ago. Jeez, makes you feel old, doesn't it? Oh, thank you very much for putting that in there, much appreciated. Yeah, look, there goes my name, yeah. And Thorn, there you go. Thanks for this, Thorn, again. Much appreciated that you put that in there. Half these people who got special thanks, they technically deserve special thanks for the original project as well, so... There is text for this actually, this last bit that says Sonic Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. There is Sonic 3 A.I.R Edition text, and for this screen that replaces the and Knuckles. I'm not asking you to put it in, but I'm just letting you know that it does exist. And there we go, that's pretty much it. You can still fast forward the cutscene even though it's not a cutscene anymore. And that's it. Obviously you'll be there in about 20 seconds. So yeah, that there is Sonic 3 A.I.R Edition ported to Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited by Thorn, and the original project obviously developed by myself, A.I.R. So thank you very much everybody for tuning into this stream. I had a great time playing through this again from start to finish. As Knuckles, obviously I still want to go back and play through as Sonic at some point in the near future. Just to experience the other side of the story, as it were, and also to see if there's anything else that pops up. But definitely worth keeping an eye on. And yeah, I appreciate everybody for coming into the stream today, because it's been a lot more vocal in the chat than it has been in the last couple of streams. And I do appreciate the interactivity of that. Yeah, there's graphics for the Sonic 3 A.I.R Edition, but I think it says A.I.R ED dot because I couldn't fit it in, so it's not really worth using. But there are them there for the last two screens that I did add into the original. So you know, you can, up to you if you want to put them in. It's up to you, but they do exist. They're not the greatest, but I remember putting them in at the last minute because I could. So yeah. So yeah, I think that's going to be it today. Again, thank you for coming. Again, I'll probably be back soon playing through Sonic Story of the same thing. It's a really good experience to go through again, and yeah, I will see you all again soon. Okay, bye everyone.